that's bright light. If you see them dimly, that's dim light. You will not see things that are not within that range. For instance, if everyone except Sin and Valandra look around, they will not see Valandra's token. Sin, you'll see it because you're super special, and Valandra will see it because it's Valandra. But there's a Mr. Torch sitting right next to you. If I take Mr. Torch and move him over here, that area gets bright and everybody gets dim, and people without dark vision might not be able to see the people next to them.
No! I'm blind! Help!
So, people without dark vision, make sure you get yourself a Mr. Torch and keep him handy. No!
No?
Don't do that to me, Google. Google, you're not going to do that, are you? Boing.
Bing.
Alright, I did start the stream, just so everybody is aware.
Awesome.
Thanks for the images, by the way, for everybody.
All right.
Can anyone hear me?
I hear.
Yep.
All right, so I see Waverly, Dawn, Joey, Chloe, Valandra, Kitty. When you get a chance, update your name to match the character.
Oh. Oops.
Don't go roaming around too far.
It will let me. That's weird.
Usually that's the...
There you go.
Hey. Awesome. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a full house.
I'm still loading in. Give me 1 second. I'll be right
Sure.
back.
Take your time. Oh, somebody just ate something on their microphone.
Oh no, that's plastic. It's plastic.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ooh, pretty.
Cool. So you guys should see yourselves in the lower right-hand corner of the map. If you are able to see the white grid lines, that means the area around you is illuminated, and you can probably see other things in that area. If you do not see the white grid lines, that means the area around you is not illuminated, and even if someone was standing next to you, you wouldn't know about it. Valandra, that applies to you, because you happen to be in the dark. So, let's talk about what has happened. For the past several days, you have been traveling a road that winds lazily along the rolling grasslands of the Greenfields. Sundown is approaching when you top a rise and see the town of Greenest, just a few short miles away, but instead of the, we'll call it pleasant, welcoming town you expected, you see columns of black smoke rising from burning buildings, running figures that are little more than dots in the distance, and a dark, winged shape wheeling low over the keep that rises above the center of the town. Greenest is being attacked by a dragon. Some of you have been traveling together. You make your way, circling to the southern side of town. Along the way, you encounter some familiar faces. If everyone would please click on their token and then click the initiative icon on their sheets to join the turn order.
Familiars get their own initiative, right?
Familiars do get their own initiative.
He's technically... Good job, Dusk.
All right, I'm dumb. How do you do this again?
Sure. So click on your icon so your icon is selected.
Right.
Once you have your icon selected, open up your character sheet, and towards the top of the sheet should be a little line that says initiative. Just click on the word initiative.
I was not getting very far.
What's with all the decimals?
Sure. So what the decimals are is I have it turned on so that it will automatically add your dexterity as a decimal to help with tiebreakers. And that way, if we happen to have a tie, it's already on the sheet. All right. So what I would like you to do, Edgar happens to be accompanying his person, so he doesn't get to go first. But Chloe, you and Joey are just moving in sync no matter what we do. So you happen to come up first on the list, but the two of you seem to be running in lockstep, despite having been apart for some time. Chloe, what do we see as you crest that last hill and come up upon the dark patch between two burning buildings? To the right, the Warren, your childhood home, is starting to burn. To your left, the house of Linnane and Cuth, those who raised the very youngest of the orphans, has also started to catch fire just on the corner.
Yeah, so I guess coming around the hill or down the hill or whatever it was, I'll definitely be heading towards the Warren, and I'll, I guess, look to my right and see my brother stepping in stride with me and be like, "Where have you been? I've been looking for you all over. What the hell?" And then I'll just, this is actual initiative, yeah? Is it 5 foot?
Oh no, you're. So we're just getting to the point where you guys are now. So no more movement other than arriving where you are.
Gotcha. So yeah, I had already had a panicked look, kind of looking around for my brother because we didn't arrive together. And seeing him just running with me, I'm just like, I'm eager to get to the Warren, but I'm also like, what the hell? Where'd you come from?
All right, and with that, is it Joey?
It is Joey, and kind of arriving probably from a different angle, but into the same spot. Well, somebody had to make the money for the both of us. That was me. You went up. I had to go down.
Don't start. There's stuff on fire. Come on.
All right. And as the two siblings begin bickering almost immediately, Waverly, you're not awful tall. but you are approaching. How do you make yourself known amongst the taller folk?
Waverly's calling out, top of her lungs, just like, you guys, it's a dragon! Oh my, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I mean, she might be 2 feet tall, and she's barely a mouthful for a dragon, but no fear here. She's just going as fast as she can go, which is harder than everybody else because her legs are short.
All right. And as that's all going on, Telaise?
Yes.
All
please.
right. Telaise.
I appear not to be on the initiative order.
Valandra, how did I miss you? So do me a favor, click your icon and hit your initiative. Make sure you click your icon before you click the initiative button.
Oh, okay. I can't hit initiative.
Got you that time. But we're going to skip you because you're on hold. You're the special case for today. But
Okay.
Telaise.
So I'm like right behind Waverly, and it's pretty hard to miss me because everything is I'm all blue and in the light. So literally from my hair down to my tunic and my boots, it's all bright blue in the light, and I'm like, all right, well, this is one way to start a party.
Fair enough. Now,
The whole thing.
Dawn, I believe you have the next set of honors, the first of our feline folk.
He is. He's dressed fairly well. Like he's carrying himself a lot different than people would have remembered him. Like he's a lot more straighter, not hunched over, not as nervous seeming as he was. But he still has that like curiosity he always had. He's like looking at the dragon like, "Oh my god, that is fantastic!" Like, just in this like, wow, like I'm pretty much seeing a dragon. Like, how big of a dragon is this?
This is a full adult blue dragon. It is a huge creature, and its wingspan, especially with the blue scales catching the firelight coming up from below, the moonlight coming from above, it is a stunning and frightening sight.
Yeah, he's not about to go running up to it. He's not stupid, but he just seems fascinated to be like this close to get like this good of a view of a dragon. And then it kind of clicks like, shit. But he doesn't really say much at first. He's just like, oh my god, a dragon.
Awesome. And then Dusk, following up on Dawn's heels, I think. Maybe a step or two behind, but what are you doing?
She probably snaps her fingers in front of her brother's face. It's like, hey, honey bun, focus, come on. I know it's a pretty dragon, but that thing's gonna eat us if we all die. We all gotta keep moving.
Excellent. And with your little party gathered in what was, up until you brought a little light to it, a dark space between the two burning homesteads, you do see that enormous dragon in the distance. To help us warm up the sheets just a little bit more, would everyone please click their Arcana skill to give me an Arcana check?
Alrighty then.
Is someone actually carrying the torch?
I'll answer that with I'm not, because I don't need it.
Right.
Yes.
And everyone except Dusk seems to have heard at least a little bit about dragons and being able to call it to mind fairly quickly. Blue dragons, for those of you who did just a bit better, you recall being desert dwellers, prone to spitting gouts of lightning. Those of you who didn't do quite so well, you remember dragons are terrifying creatures. It is difficult even to be close to one. For Dusk, it's just a dragon. You maybe even have trouble identifying that. Could be an enormous bluebird. There's a little flex in that. But as you gather quickly, the fire atop Linnane and Cuth's house does spread. As it spreads, you can see further to the left, Linnane and Cuth, both outside their home, both looking rather bloodied and moving back towards the home. Beyond them, torchlight calls your attention to a group of small, dragon-like humanoids. Their scales glitter in the firelight from the two torches they hold. They've divided into two groups, north and south, and seem to be driving the women before them. You can see that Linnane and Cuth are both clutching a bundle to their chest. Cuth has a large sword held in one hand, but it seems to be a two-handed weapon. Both are bloodied from the look of them, even at a distance, as you can see them coming around the side of the house. You see that Cuth's wounds are primarily on her front, seem to have been taken while fighting, whereas Linnane, her wounds seem to be on her back. She must have been turned away trying to defend the bundle in her arms from attack. At this point, I ask a question to Valandra. Are you doing anything right now?
Yeah. When I see them there that closely, and that they're not doing well, I start crawling away from Glumfellow and the other orphans. They're not wanting to give their position away, but trying to get close enough to the two to try and heal them, despite what happened last time I saw them.
Fair enough. The two of them do look fairly normal compared to the last time some of you saw them. Cuth, obviously, a very large orc woman. Linnane, elven woman of indeterminate age, both of them carrying babes swaddled in cloth. Cuth, a great sword held in one hand. Valandra, you do have your full movement. Please feel free to move. And as you move into the light, it will reveal you to others.
So
if you click on your token, there you go.
And I think I can get there in 30 feet.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have? I have my full turn, so I can cast a spell now too. Or
full turn, you absolutely may.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I will cast Cure Wounds on Cuth. Just a moment. Somewhere here. Oh, that's where spells are. Okay. Okay, just a moment. That doesn't seem to be doing anything.
If you have them dragged over to your sheet, if you click on your sheet on the spells tab, you can click it. It'll ask you what level you want to cast it at.
Yeah, okay. It brought that up. I just didn't see it.
And if it's really fighting you, just go ahead and roll a d8 and add your spellcasting ability, and then we'll fight with the sheets later.
Okay. 9.
Excellent. Cuth looks much relieved to regain 9 hit points.
Oh, I'm sorry. That should be 10.
That should be 10.
Yeah.
Even better. Cuth looks at you like, where'd you come from? And Edgar the Familiar. Are you doing anything, Edgar?
He is going to fly off in the direction of the kobolds to see if get a better look. Like I can't I'd have to wait to Dawn's turn to look through
Mhm.
him, right? But
Yep, correct.
he's gonna just head off in that direction.
You got it. Go ahead and give him a move. And Kalo,
What is your 50 flying?
as Edgar flies away, Valandra, a little muck monster, seems to have crawled out from the river to the north, come up to Cuth and healed her rather significantly. Cuth looks almost back to normal. But what are you doing?
So looking towards the Warren, do I see or hear anything in that quick glance? Anybody?
From the warren itself, that appears to be empty. It has caught fire, but doesn't seem to be burning to the ground. Just bits of it have caught flame. But no one inside, no one moving around. And Valandra did not come from that direction.
Okay. Not seeing any people in immediate danger, but kind of hearing and seeing immediate danger over here. I'll dash to get over here and try and get closer.
All right. Joey.
Well, this is why we don't skip leg day.
Had to skip leg day. Waverly.
Also gonna dash
Alrighty.
over there.
Telays.
Let's see. So the hut to the north is just lightly burning.
It's just lightly burning. Only a couple of fires spread out. The thatch doesn't look like it's going to burst into flame. It's a very damp, and really, if it was going to burst into flame, it would every time you made a fire inside. So houses don't burn like matchsticks, but there's a lot of torches that have been thrown up on top of them, and that's really what's doing the burning.
I think I'm gonna diverge from the group, and I'm gonna head up. 'Cause I need there's plenty of people going to the left. I'm gonna go up.
Sure, not a problem. And the Warrens is pretty close to as you remember it. From what you guys recall when you left, there should be 3 or 4 children coming up in the Warrens at this point. Valandra being the oldest that you left behind. The younger should probably be 7, 8, maybe 9 now. And 3 of them, if none, had graduated from Linan or Cuth's care in the past year. Dawn, what are you doing? Oh, Celeste, did you move?
I'm gonna dash. How far do I give that?
Sure. You
60.
no problem. So you do double your speed. Normal speed should be about 30. So you would double up to 60.
5, right?
Each of those squares is 5. And one of the tricks to try and practice and learn, if you click your icon, hit the space bar, drag it where you want to go, and hit space bar again, it'll tell you how far you moved. And if that doesn't work out, just move and count 5 at a time.
Let's go there.
You got it. And now over to Dawn.
Okay. I was just trying to see if it was like an action or a bonus action to go into looking through the Raven, and it doesn't say. But
It would be a full action to put your senses into their senses.
Well, he's going to use the feline agility to dart over to here, put his back up against this wall, and then he's going to put his sight and hearing into Edgar for the time being.
Sounds good. And Edgar's got good eyes. And through Edgar's good eyes and vision above the house looking beyond it, you can see that there are 2 distinct groups of 5 kobolds, and then 2 other stragglers staying away from those main groups. The stragglers look a little beat up. They are a little bloodied. The others, however, look hale and healthy. Dusk, what have you got?
Wait, so he could see all of them through Edgar?
Yes, through Edgar, you can see all of them. They are illuminated. They are carrying torches, and you guys should see them right over here. I hope.
Yeah, so he's just gonna quickly say there's about a dozen of them. As they're all converging in that one area, so he doesn't have to yell.
Sounds good to me. All right, and Dusk.
Okay. Dusk is probably going to be going to protect her brother and stay nearby to him. Gonna dart over here.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything about what he can do, so you're pretty much seeing him facing the wrong way and say that there's a dozen of them.
Yeah.
So
Probably be looking at him with this look on my face. Like,
he can't see you.
oh, you can't hear me?
He cannot see you or hear you at the moment.
But you don't know that, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yep.
that. I'm going to
He's
be
just-
talking to myself.
Doing the sibling thing and ignoring you. So, as all that's happening, Valandra, who crept from the muck to heal Cuth, it seems like a lot more activity is probably going to take place in just a moment. But is there anything you're doing before all that activity kicks off?
Yeah, I will spend my other spell and heal Linan. So 8. So
Still
out of spells
close.
for the day. And then I'll move in front of them and take out my my mace.
All right. And Valandra, equipment-wise, what armor are you or are you not wearing?
I am wearing chainmail, and I have a shield.
Excellent. Well-equipped muck monster that you are. Kobolds begin rushing forward. They dash, trying to catch up to their prey, Cuff and Linan, but cannot move quite that far. The two that were hanging back only move forward a bit. They seem much more defensive. Edgar.
Gonna perch right here for the moment on this edge of the.
All right, and with that, you do get a good view of the surrounding area through Edgar's senses. Isgra the Kobold rushes forward, drawing alongside its kin. Linane huddles defensively around the babe, looking to Valandra. Have care, child. Joy. Some of the kobolds have come up. No strikes have exchanged yet, though.
Wait. There were the kobolds, and they didn't swing at the blue. Really?
They look like they exhausted themselves just running up.
Well, the map is very big.
Dang.
Not the
Well,
most
that's-
athletic little lizards, are
I'm
they?
gonna step out around this corner.
Maybe they didn't do leg day.
Okay. And then I will throw a javelin at this one. I'll throw a javelin at the across one. The one that's directly across from me. Oh my god, ruler. This one.
You got it. A 13 will strike the unlucky kobold. 10 points of piercing damage. Destroy him utterly. He falls, clutching it. Any additional action from you?
No, I think I'm just gonna move up just a little bit more.
You got it. Kalo, Or Chloe, sorry. Leg day seems to be working out for the brother. What have you got?
Yeah, well, he's stealing my moves, so I'm gonna come up next to the building and do the same thing, but, you know, at this other aptly named one. I'm sure they all have names.
Every one of them.
It's adorable. But they're going to die.
8 will not, however, strike the kobold. The javelin goes wide.
Don't think you're getting away. Get back here. We got stuff to talk about.
Did you bring the money? We're not gonna have to front you.
We're not doing this right now. I said later.
And on that note, Lurka, the kobold, strides forward. As the DM scrambles to reopen something he didn't mean to close. Didn't happen. Nobody saw it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. There was a word that somebody said. Lurka, however, seeing javelins cast, attempts to return fire, aiming at the blue girl with the shield in the front. At this distance, a sling, unfortunately for him, will be at disadvantage. And that's not going to matter anyway. Waverly, as javelins and rocks fly, what have you got?
Gotta get over there, for one thing. Let's see, I'm just going to try and slide in between the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Sure.
I think most of
the fire is from a torch or torches that have been thrown onto the roofs, so there's no danger standing next to the house at this point.
Okay. So I think I can get to about here, because I got short legs, and that's dashing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my whole turn. Eventually, I will get close enough to do something.
Fair enough. And as you rush forward, Dox the kobold has the same idea. Let's rush forward. Sling its bullet prepared. It is cast. 35 feet is still too far. Disadvantage at the blue girl. I don't think an 11's going to do it.
Nope.
That brings up Mib the kobold. Mib the kobold. Monkey see, monkey do, even for kobolds. How about
Kobold
a sling?
see, kobold do.
Sling at the blue girl? 9's probably still not going to help. Telays, you start hearing clangs and dings as stones bounce off armor and shield. The sounds all seem to be coming from the west near Cuth and Lenane's house. The sounds from inside the warren, only the burning of the torch and the crackling of the thatch on the roof.
Okay. There's nothing that I can see around that could be, like, who could have thrown the torch on the roof or anything like that?
Based on the kobolds carrying torches, you would please give me an investigation check. Oh, where'd it go?
Right here. I got you.
That's actually quite the investigation check. You quickly deduce that, wait, no, those torches are actually placed fairly carefully so that it looks like they were thrown up there, but they appear to have been placed. Perhaps someone wanted to give the impression that the warren had already been ransacked and had already had torches thrown about it, but the warren is in no danger.
That's really weird. That's really weird. Okay, so these are completely fine. These buildings that I'm near, there's no danger to these buildings whatsoever.
Over at the warren, there appears to be no danger to the buildings at all.
Okay. Well, then I will head back west then, now that I've found that out.
And knowing now a little bit what to look for, as you look to the west, Lenane and Cuth's house, not nearly so lucky. Those torches are just tossed up there and starting to smolder on the thatch. And go ahead and take your movement as you will. And as you do, Dawn, what are you doing?
He can't move. Too worn out from his dash to move. So he is going to off in, if I have the right tool, in this direction in the darkness. He is going to use Minor Illusion, and he is going to make it sound like a lot of people are on their way.
Okay.
It lasts for a minute, so he's going to try to make it sound like it's getting louder over the course of that minute, like a whole lot of people are coming.
Okay. And is your intent to intimidate the kobolds, it sounds
Yes.
like? Would you please roll me an intimidation check along with the noise that you are making?
Intimidation check. Where are you?
That's a good intimidation. So it does sound quite a bit like people are coming from that direction. But that doesn't faze Jarka the Kobold at all right now. Jarka the Kobold rushes forward, and now having closed the distance, makes a legitimate sling attack at the blue girl. An 18?
18 does hit.
Does hit. Please mark off 5 bludgeoning damage as the sling stone strikes home. This brings up Rorgulp, the kobold. Rorgulp rushes forward to close the distance, coming up alongside you, bringing the torch with him. Fisu, you're so far away, Fisu. What are you doing? Rushing up, actually draws right up alongside Waverly. Fisu swinging a torch wildly as he comes. Dusk, what you doing?
Dusk, completely oblivious to the fact that her brother could not hear anything she has been saying for the last 5 minutes, goes, and that's the plan, so let's get going. And she runs immediately over to Waverly. And her thought process is, I'm going to punch it. If I can make this move. Let me make this move.
Okay. So it's still fighting you. Make sure you've... There you go.
There, yeah, yep, I made it go. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like she dashes over. She pops up next to I can't even read his name anymore.
Fisu
the kobold.
And she's just like, hi, and she punches him.
And oh yes, she does. Fisu, Dusk, would you please tell me how much damage is done to Fisu the kobold?
Okay, let's see. And if I roll for the frickin'...
You click where it says unarmed strike in the chat.
And
it will roll.
There we go. What's that? 23 over there. But the 12 damage. Wait, no, that can't be right, is it?
I think I hit the wrong button for the first
time.
time.
Yeah, no, sorry.
That was an attack again.
Yeah, attack. Right where it says in the chat, where it says unarmed strike +7, click the word unarmed strike. Boop. There you go. That's it. 9 points of damage, which is far more than this kobold ever thought it could handle. And indeed it cannot. This is a greeting for the ages. And the kobold crumples, his torch falling to the ground next to him. Any additional action?
I'd probably just smack it in the face with my tail. Just to add insult to injury.
There is plenty of insult in that injury. Cud the kobold, you can't even see him at this point, so he comes streaking out of the darkness, drawing up all the way alongside Linnane. But
oh, hell no.
That effort has exhausted him. Opmed the kobold, famed far and wide as the first kobold you guys saw, draws up alongside Dusk, glancing to his left at his flattened companion, and he actually looks a little hesitant, but still pulls up, drawing his blade. Valandra, it is your move. What have you got?
I will swing my mace at... I can't tell what the name of the one above me next to Linnane is because I'm on top of it.
North, but yeah, yep.
Okay. And somewhere here. There we go.
Cud the Kobold cannot handle a 15. Please roll me damage. 4 leaves him standing, but barely. He is
Damn.
bloodied and damaged, but hisses back at you. And you notice now that they've drawn a little closer, some of you may have seen kobolds. They're ugly, scaly little creatures. Their scales are a mottled mixture of many colors. These, however, have a very distinct blue cast to them. The blue scales that are mixed in amongst the multicolored scales that they have on their bodies are more vibrant and more obvious. And that goes along very well with Valandra's color scheme, as well as Talaze's. But Puzzle, the kobold, despite his injuries, moves forward to assist his companions. He sends a slingstone towards the obvious threat of dusk. A normal attack with his sling. 19?
Let's see. Where is my
Armor class?
Barely.
Okay. 19 hits. Please mark down for 4 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
Cuth steps forward alongside Linin, taking defensive posture, unable to wield her great two-handed sword with just one hand, but is able to take a defensive moment. That brings us around to Argo, the dead kobold, who is no longer on the initiative. You guys are laughing. This kobold just never stood a chance. A tree, seeing that it's stone towards the diminutive Waverly. Waverly, I don't think a 6 is going to hit you. Edgar, what are you doing atop your perch?
Edgar is going to move back and sit upon Dawn's shoulder for now.
Dawn is, I think, comfortable. I'm not sure. Isgra, the kobold, however, is going to close up. You go back to the map. That means I can't see what you're at. Hang on. I made a mistake. There we go. Isgra, the kobold, steps up atop his dead brethren, striking at Valandra with his dagger. No. Very no. Linin continues her defensive measures, bringing us around to Joey. Joey, they're starting to draw up rank.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. We need to stop them from grouping up. We need to... no, I can't pull that off either. Is my javelin still on the ground right here? In this dead kobold?
Javelin, roll me... yeah, javelin's on the ground, yes. You can pull it out of the kobold if you choose.
I'm going to pull it out of that dead kobold, and I'm going to put it into this alive kobold. That's a nice little melee attack.
Fair enough. Free action, grab a javelin. Action, stab a kobold. Yes, you do. Isgra the kobold is no longer Isgra the kobold. It is now Isgra the pincushion. Stacking up the kobold bodies like cordwood. Joey, any additional movement or action for you?
No, right here looks great. Just make a pile of kobolds.
They are conveniently stacked. Chloe, what are you doing as Joey starts his little stacking project?
I'm going to go around the other way, and seeing that Valandra is getting swamped, try and 5, 10, 15, 20. Try and sneak in here and take out my warhammer and... Oh my god, of course I get this one. Roar Gulp. Just swipe at Roar Gulp, hoping that the one with one hit point left can, just be handled by the now healed Linan.
Absolutely. 7 no.
Sorry for all the dice.
That is a lot of dice, but not enough. Any additional action or movement?
No, I'll just wait here.
All right, that brings us back to Lurka. Lurka continues moving up, standing behind his associate. Yeah, you go forward, buddy. Sends a stone at dusk. That seemed like an effective method. No. Waverly. Stones are bouncing off the house behind you. One or two have struck true, but most seem to just be finding places back in the dirt. Waverly, what are you doing, though?
All right. Well, let's deal with. Let's get Lurka first
Let's
off.
get Lurka.
She pulls out her rapier and
17 is going to hit, and is that really 12 damage?
yes.
You are a monster of a mouse. There
Just
is
picturing
no
this
more.
teeny mouse with a full-sized rapier just stabbed right through this.
Actually, I am going to ask. That's enough that I need to know. Waverly, how do you, at 2 feet tall, destroy a 3 feet tall kobold?
Right through the stomach.
Right through the stomach. Efficient, effective, and very, very messy.
Yep. Basically, just disemboweled him.
You got it.
There's no playing fair in a situation like this.
True enough. And on that note, Dox the Kobold rushes forward, drawing alongside his companion. He strikes towards Chloe, and you see something that you've heard of, but maybe not seen in person. Kobolds executing pack tactics. He strikes effectively, yes he does, with the assistance of his friend. Does a 21 get you, Chloe?
Yeah, 21 does.
4 points of piercing damage as he works with Rurgulp to strike at you.
They're getting
This
smarter.
proves up. They're dangerous when they group up. And speaking of which, Mib the Kobold rushes in just behind Dox, striking with a dagger with advantage.
Which everyone knew.
No. Delays. Late to the party, but you're getting here. What do you got?
So the long building in front of me.
Yes.
I see that there's one torch that's really close by.
There is.
From that.
So the torches you can see atop this building were just thrown up there with the intent of catching the thatch on fire. The thatch, however, seems to be putting out the torches more than the torches seem to be catching the thatch on fire. You doubt the house is about to burst into flame, but if more torches were thrown, it could become dangerous.
Okay. All right. Am I seeing that there's some stuff set in front of it? Stairs, but what's that to the side there?
There are some barrels and some crates out to catch rainwater. There are some storage and tools out there as well. And actually, the area behind the houses is tilled and farmed. It's just not depicted on this particular map. We didn't get to that level of detail.
How hard would it be for me to get on the roof?
That would be an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice, depending on how creative you wish to be.
Quick look here. Pull it off with acrobatics, which would be really smart. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's what I want to try and get up on the roof.
You got it. Your DC is a 14. If you fail, you end up on your butt.
It's totally fair. She's going to use I'm going to use my staff to help launch me up.
Absolutely. Take that DC down to a 12.
Okay. Just do a straight acrobatics roll,
Yep,
right?
straight acrobatics. Oh yeah, easy vault for you. Gracefully place yourself atop the building. Now, a thatched roof isn't super easy to walk on, but I don't think you're that heavy, so you should be able to move across it well enough. I wouldn't do any jumping up there, though.
Right. Like, no, I just plan on walking across it. So
Yep.
I was there, so that's 5, 10. So it's not doing the thing that I wanted it to do. Not from there. It wants me to go backwards. I don't want to go backwards. There we go. That's what I want. Get about here.
Okay.
and
Looks
get
like about the right
there.
distance.
I'm within range. How do you do the distance arrow without moving?
Click the little ruler on the left-hand toolbar. It looks like a comb. And then click yourself and drag, and it'll give you a little arrow set. There you go.
Okay, cool. I'm within range of a couple of people. So let's see. I'm so sorry I'm slow, guys. I'm still figuring all this out.
It's session 1. We'll all get used to ourselves soon.
Oh, great. Awesome. My range is 60 feet for Vicious Mockery.
Now, I'm not going to insist on it every time, but do please start thinking about things that you might viciously say to a blue scaly kobold.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, I'm gonna target one of the guys that are focusing on me. The closest one to me, which would be Roar Gulp.
Oracle?
And I'm going to viciously mock him and tell him that I wear heels bigger than your deck.
Holding nothing. Just absolutely. Please go ahead and roll that viciously mocked effect.
All right, how do I do this?
So hopefully you have a spell on your spell sheet called Vicious Mockery. You should be able to click it. It may ask you what level you're casting it at. Oh, there it goes.
Sure.
So DC 14, I'm going to roll my wisdom saving throw. Kobolds known for their wisdom. No. So psychic damage, 2 points straight to the ego.
You
But
hurt his feelings.
he remains standing despite the devastating blow to his scaly manhood. Delays any additional actions or movement.
No, I think I'm.
All right. And do me a favor, check Vicious Mockery real quick. Does that say something like has disadvantage till next turn? Is that Mockery, or am I remembering wrong?
Let me take a quick look.
All right. And while you're looking, Dawn, what are you doing?
Dawn is going to step out this way.
It does say disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Okay.
Cool.
Wisdom savings throw or take 1d4 psychic damage, and it has a disadvantage on its next attack roll
Got
before
it.
the end of its turn.
He is wiggly lined.
Yay. So Dawn is going to step out from behind the protection of this little shed here,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to fire an Eldritch Blast at Opmild.
Opmel does not like this at all. There's a crowd of people coming. There are Eldritch blasts appearing, and he's dead. So thankfully, his
So
suffering
Dusk,
is
you
short-lived.
just saw like a big laser beam just shoot right past your face into this kobold, or past your hip into this kobold, technically. And he is going to run down this way, sort of still stay behind this building, because buildings are protective for little squishy spellcasters.
All right. And as the little squishy spellcasters start stacking up, Jarka the Kobold rushes forward. Chloe has thrown herself deep into the mix, and Kobold daggers are coming from everywhere.
Bring
With
it.
pack tactics, this will be with advantage. 13?
Nope.
Nope. This brings up Rorgulp, who thinks he has pack tactics, but is also worried about being a little short. So 14 on Chloe.
Nope.
He did come up a little short. Fisu, however, is very dead. Dusk, that brings it around to you.
Oh, okay, so Dusk is probably going to charge right over here. And I want to roll to attempt to hold on, I need to see this guy's name. To punch Jarka
Okay.
into whichever the one behind him is. I can't read the name right now.
All right. So you're going to attempt to punch Jarka into, I think that may be Docs. It is Docs. So Jarka might be having a bad day. Now, is this using a actual push attack, which does no damage? Or is this one of the monk's special abilities to push back, which would, I think, take a key point?
I think Flurry of Blows does that. It's one of the things it can do.
So what hopefully, if that's what you got, I believe what you'll want to say is I'm spending a key point, I am punching him with Flurry of Blows, and I will attempt to shove him backwards. And then go ahead and mark yourself off a key point and make that attack roll.
Monks don't get key until 2nd level, I believe.
Yeah,
So then we only.
That's
Sorry. So you can either do a shove, in which case no damage, or you can just punch the crap out of him and see what happens.
Well, he's here, so I'm gonna punch him and see.
Okay, you got it.
So we need to boop and then
9. No, you do give it, and maybe you're trying just a little too hard to get that extra effort, but it bounces off the scaly hide. No damage done.
darn.
This is going to bring up Khud the Kobold, who has just 1 hit point, but plans to make the most of it as he sends a dagger at Valandra with advantage due to his friend on the opposite side. Okay. 23 to Valandra.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Ooh, 5 points of piercing damage. Please mark it off.
Yep. I'm not looking too good.
Oh. Early use of those cure spells coming back to haunt. Thankfully, Opmeld is dead. So, Valandra, it is your turn. What you doing?
Okay. So the one that just hit me is still the one that's closest to hurting Linan or Cuth, so that's the one I'm gonna attack. Let's see. Mace.
Oh, yeah, he didn't even get his dagger out of you before you clubbed him. Please roll that damage. 3 points is enough. Already wounded. He falls. Any additional movement or actions for you? You are being threatened by Rorgulp, who would be able to strike you if you tried to move away.
Yeah, I'll stay there then.
Okay. That's going to bring up Puzzlil. Puzzlil still alive and has eyes on Dusk. Dusk, a dagger towards you. Sandwiched between the kobolds. This has advantage. 13?
It does not.
Does not. Can't find fur. That brings up Cuth. Seeing that you guys are doing okay, continues to shelter the babe in arm. A tree in the forest falls, but that doesn't matter. This kobold steps forward, ready to engage Waverly, looking at the mess of its friend. A little nervous, a little defensive, but still a dagger. 19 to Waverly?
Yes, it hits.
Ooh, it scores and scores
Ouch.
big. 6 points of piercing damage. Trying to
Ouch.
take you out before you can riposte. Edgar.
Ouch.
Edgar.
Is for now going to stay where he is, and the minor illusion should still be going off down here.
Absolutely is. And Isgra is a dead. Linane remains defensive. Joey.
You just gotta start the top and then work your way down.
Joey, which way did you go to get there? Okay, fair enough.
Gotta keep them off of us.
Yes. And if you're starting at the top, that's Mib the Kobold. That was Mib the Kobold. You're getting a lot of distance out of this javelin for not throwing it. Mib the Kobold is no more.
Let's see, that's...
Send you to the back there, Mib.
Yeah, and that's as far as I can move.
All right. That's going to bring us around to Chloe. Chloe, Kobold's still all around you. Lots of daggers flying about. What you got?
I'm gonna yell at Joey for coming around. Go help them down there. They're getting surrounded. It's a little mouse. She can't take care of herself. Go help them. I got this. And she's surrounded by like 4 or 5. And she'll take a swing at Docs. No, you don't understand. Hold on.
Honey Bun, she just ran that.
Oh
sword.
my god.
No.
What is going on?
Too busy berating her brother to attack properly.
Why are you stabbing them with the javelin? You're supposed to throw that one and hit with this one. But not like this.
A lot of good advice, but not taking as much as you're given. Any movements?
Nope.
All right. That's going to bring it to Lurka the Goblin, who is dead and gone. Waverly, you find yourself facing an enemy who has struck you first.
Yes. Kind of clutching my side here because that hurt a lot, but not enough to keep me from striking back. So.
Oh no, it got real close, but it just skittered along the scales and didn't bite home. Any movement or other actions?
Yeah, we're just gonna take a quick hop away here.
Ooh, are you hopping away knowing that you might get struck back unless you disengage?
I am gonna disengage, yes.
Okay, well,
disengage is an action.
Oh,
So
it is, right.
Yeah, so you cannot
You
disengage.
will eventually get it as a
I will
bonus action.
Yeah, that's right. I will have to,
Yeah, that's next level, I think.
yes, that's next level.
I do think as a mouse folk you have maybe nimble dodge, which does something on opportunity attacks, but I think it may be disadvantage.
Yeah, I can impose disadvantage on an opportunity of attack, so I will do that.
Okay, so with disadvantage,
I'm gonna have to get some space here.
with disadvantage, he tries to end you. No, you do make your escape. And is that as far as you're going?
No, I'm just gonna run over here a little bit, catch my breath a little bit.
Fair enough. Take
Because
shelter.
I have 2 hit points. All right, I'm bleeding
Under
pretty
delays.
bad. I'm bleeding pretty bad.
All right. So that is going to bring up Dox. Dox looks towards the massive half-orc that is just stabbing through the ranks and still takes the attack at the other half-orc who is surrounded. The better odds as he strikes at Chloe. An 18, Chloe.
Nope.
Deflected. That's going to bring up Mib the Dead. So that means Telays. It is to you.
All right. Here we go. So it looks like my favorite victim is still standing. So I will viciously mock Rogrop again. Nice.
But what can you do to follow up on your opening bid? Do go ahead and give it a click. DC 14 Wisdom save. No! Rorgulp mocked to death. He falls.
Oh my god.
Well, I hope his mother brings a date to his funeral. That's what I said.
Oh. Cold. Any movement while you're up there atop your perch?
You know what? I think I can reach everybody from here, so I'm happy.
Fair enough. Dawn, that brings it round to you. Kobolds have dropped dead all about you, but one with a bloody dagger has eyes on Waverly. What are you doing?
He doesn't care so much about this guy in Waverly right now. There's somebody on his sister. He is going to Cast Toll the Dead because he already has damage. It should do more damage.
You got it. Picking on the unwise goblins seems to be paying off for you guys, as
So it would actually be the lesser one.
the lesser
5.
of the two,
But,
but that is enough. And
this guy.
Puzzle, the kobold, that was this fellow right here, correct?
Yes.
Yep. Drops dead as the bell does toll for him. Let's see here. Any additional movement or actions from him?
Just because he's pretty sure that clued this guy into where he was, he is just going to kind of scoot this way for now. And just in case.
Scooting takes place. That brings up Jarka. Where are you at, Jarka? There you are. Jarka striking at dusk, thinking that he will have advantage, but no, for an enemy has been removed. 16 dusk? Nope. It is a miss. Roar Gulp, now deceased and not very well soliloquied. Dusk, that brings it to you.
I'm gonna go after the one that is going after Waverly, so a tree. And boop. And punch him. Or at least attempt to.
As you move away from Jarka, Jarka takes a swing at you with opportunity, unless there's a reason he wouldn't be able to.
It ate you there. Could you repeat it?
Oh, sorry. Attack of opportunity from Jarka as you move away from him.
Okay.
Okay, are you familiar with the attacks of opportunity?
Yep.
Okay.
She's aware. She's just reckless.
Tries it. 19?
Yep, that does hit.
Ooh, tags you for 4 as you move away. But then go ahead and make your attack.
And let's see if it hits.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Much obliged.
And time to punch.
Yeah, these guys haven't got much compared to these cat claw strikes. If you would, is it a cat claw? Do you palm? How does this strike look as you make mincemeat of the kobold?
I feel like she is definitely, you know, the way the cats will swipe and then bat at you at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the kind of thing, just, you know, with a terrifying amount of force.
Fair enough. As the hatches are battened down, Valandra, what are you up to?
I will take a step forward and then cast Word of Radiance.
Ooh.
So both of these two up here make a Constitution save.
Also something kobolds are known for. If you'd please roll your damage and the DC for me.
Okay. It looks like I. Okay, it looks like I changed up my cantrips, but didn't change all the. My DC is 14.
14.
Anyway,
you got it.
And I will just manually roll damage. Oh.
One makes it, one does not, but the lower of the two only takes 1 point of damage. They look shaken, but not stirred. Valandra, any additional movement or action for you?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right. Puzzle the dead kobold does nothing. Cuth remains defensive. A tree is now deceased. Edgar, any movement from his perch?
No, he's going to stay there and provide his bonuses to being able to see shit.
Excellent. Lenan remains defensive as well. Joey, it comes to you. They're lined up for you, buddy.
Okay. Well, I can only get one of them. And I'm going to drop my javelin and then pull out my maul just to, make sure.
That'll make sure. That'll make a lot of sures. That is not kobold. That is paste. any additional movement or actions for you?
I'm good after I move there.
Coming way down there. Chloe.
There's only one left. Come on, once.
An 11 will not
Oh my
strike
god.
him. Just can't get it
I'm
together
just swinging
this
in
time.
circles in the center.
All right. Waverly, you've taken the retreat movement. One kobold remaining standing. What you doing?
I'm gonna go get him.
Okay.
Screw being careful. One stab with the rapier, and then sneak attack, because I'm surrounded by friends.
That is true. You are surrounded by friends. And wow. He just
Definitely
never knew.
needed that sneak attack.
Yeah, that was really useful.
That was very necessary.
That's basically giving the corpse a little bit of a stab, just for good measure.
So, in short order, you have dispatched the kobold assailants that were threatening Linan and Cuth. From the north, you hear a great burbling, squelching noise, and Glumfellow Prose begins making his way down from the north, an enormous mudman entering the light, followed by 3 younger children, 7, 8, maybe 9 years old. They bear the same muck and mud as Valandra did, though most of that has been shaken off in the fight. The torches lie on the rooftops, some scattered on the ground. The dragon off to the north does not seem to have paid any attention to the fight that has been ongoing, continuing to sweep around the citadel, circling it. You can hear screams in the distance every time the dragon swoops low, but you have not seen its fabled breath weapon. No lightning has split the sky. We're going to drop out of turn order for the moment. What are you guys doing?
Don's gonna come back around and peek around the corner for a second, count all the dead kobolds, and then come out.
Yeah, it's good. We got him. We got them all.
You alright? Poked you good.
Yeah, I've been better. I'll live. But ow.
Can I cast Prestidigitation and snuff out the nearest torch towards me?
Absolutely, May.
Do you want me to roll for that? Because I'm happy to.
Nope. I believe Prestidigitation put out a little fire is actually just one of its abilities.
Yes, it
So
is.
you can just, every 6 seconds or so, you can snuff out another little bit of flame.
So, I'm gonna do both the torches there as I walk towards the actual the edge of the roof.
You got it. It grows a little dimmer as some of the torches are extinguished.
Valandra takes a moment to breathe after the battle, then looks around and exclaims happily, "You're all back!"
When did the dragon get here? There was not a dragon when we left. I know that.
Duska's still staring at the dragon.
All right, and a little bit of silence falls, and into that silence, you hear the whick of steel being drawn out of sheaths and picked up off the ground as Joey starts collecting some of the daggers. The kobolds were carrying 2 daggers each, as well as slings. Beyond that, not a whole lot on them. A couple of torches scattered about. Glumfellow, as he draws nearer, greets you. Hello. Welcome back to Greenest. The dragon arrived some 2 hours ago. We hid and set the torches atop the warren so it would not be lost. It
So that
seems
explains that.
it seems they will be searching, so we should make our way to the citadel. We were going to hide, but the search is too thorough. And as he speaks, he gestures to the north, and you can see coming around the bend light as small search parties are combing the river's edge, looking for those who might be hiding among the brush and the muck.
Can we see, lights from there?
If you guys zoom out, hopefully you should see lights from there.
Oh, no, I just mean, can our characters see, search parties?
Yes, you can see the
Okay.
search parties up in this direction. And then you can start to see light coming over from this direction. There's a large swath of brush that you know is very hard to climb through. You've done that as kids, and it is not pleasant at all. But you can get through it with effort and loss of blood. Along the same lines, the brush over in this direction and that is near the hill on the way up to the temple, quite dense. But the stream where it cuts through, it looks as though a search party coming down this way and another coming along the stream to the west. You figure at the pace they're moving, you've only got 5 to 10 minutes to figure out what you're going to do. You are illuminated, so they will be able to see figures moving about in the torchlight in the area you're at, but from more than 100 feet it would be hard to tell you from any other creature, Glumfellow excluded.
So this isn't just a random dragon attack. This is something else.
A blue dragon should not even be here.
Yeah, that too.
I'm pretty sure a dragon can be wherever it damn well wants to be.
They're desert dwelling. This is hardly its normal stomping grounds.
It probably doesn't. It wouldn't even want to be here under normal circumstances.
You guys, I don't know if it matters why it's here right now.
Right. We should. I mean, we could. Well, maybe I'm not in the best state to fight. I want to fight them, but maybe we should hide.
Chloe will go up to Glumfellow and ask if there's anyone in the warren left.
No, the children are all here, and he puts his hand, or his big clawed hand, atop each of the 3 little mud people following along after him.
All right, so everybody ready to go? We need to go. We need to go hide.
Where are we going? Where are we going to go?
Aren't we headed towards the citadel?
And what direction are we going to take? I mean, are we going to try to go the direct path, or are we going to wind our way around? We've got to make a decision here.
Well, is there a way, Glumfellow, is there a way to get there without going up a hill?
And Glumfellow, the dragon seems to be circling the keep. I would not cross the open ground on the hill. And he gestures to the north. I would think between the houses and the trees along the road would give some cover from it. So he seems to say take the main route west, north, and then sprints to the keep across the road, rather than try and go north
Through the brush.
There also is the light of the search parties coming this way.
Wait, the dragon's circling the keep. That's what he's telling us?
The dragon has been circling the keep.
And that's where we want to go.
That's where you want to go.
That seems like a really bad idea.
It's
the danger and hanging out with it.
It looks to be the only formidable place that we can hide in reasonable time. If we hide in any of these houses, they're going to get burned just like these. If they're not already.
On fire. These are very carefully placed torches that make it look like the thing's on fire.
Only the Warren look that way.
But if any other house doesn't look on fire, it will soon.
It's easy to look inside. It's easy for them to get inside the buildings. It's not going to be easy for the search parties to get inside the keep.
We have to move now. They're getting closer.
Yes, now.
Take the road. I'll start ushering the kids and Glumfellow in front, hurtling.
All right. So the children and Glumfellow begin their way along the path, staying somewhat low. Linan and Cuth move as well, and you guys may have noticed this now that you're a little more grown up, they never look at the children. They always turn their face away from them. Some of you might know why. But they do start making their way. If you guys would put yourselves into the order in which you may be traveling, and then we'll move you as a group. And I know some of you happen to be in chainmail carrying shields. Some of you may be a little more sprightly and light of foot. Is anyone attempting to be particularly stealthy as you clank along?
I am. Always.
So is Dawn.
All right, and would those who are trying to be stealthy please make me a stealth check?
I will go ahead and also.
That could have been better.
I'm gonna flip myself right over here. And I will.
I hurt too much to be really quiet.
And are we bringing any light sources along with us, or are the sighted leading the blind?
Who's blind?
I am.
Blaze.
Valandra is.
I can see in the dark. I don't need a torch.
I feel like most folks should be able to see in the dark, but they can't.
Aw, Muffin.
She has a lantern, but let's maybe not use that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, if there are enough people with dark vision, it would probably be better to go in the dark, so we're not giving away our position.
Does anyone with dark vision want to carry Waverly?
I was about to say Dusk is about to scoop her up. Waverly, honey, come here.
But my strength is crap, so she's not carrying anybody.
The people with dark vision should probably surround the people without and just sort of.
Yeah, I'm coming up behind the kids and Glumfellow and anybody else that needs it, kind of shooing people along.
Okay. You guys start making your way along the path. I'm going to grab everybody and give you a drag. So hold still, please.
Whee!
You can fly! So you make your way south along the path. The path that led to the Warrens and to Linan and Cuth's house, very seldom used, only really by you and the other people of the Warren. As you get to the southern part of town, some of the houses do have torches thrown on the roof, providing some illumination. And let's make that happen. Mr. Torch! You stick to the shadows as much as possible, but as you draw close, you can see in the center of the crossroads a gathering of humans and kobolds lay in wait. They seem to be conversing rather loudly. Which house have you checked? Have you got to that one yet? Did you find anything? Will you speak common? We can't understand that gibberish. The men are robed, women as well, each wearing a mask to cover their faces. They seem to be using code names, some of which rather ridiculous, as they call to one another. And boy, it would be handy if I had this where I wanted it to be. Let's click this. And hopefully a handout should have popped up for you guys.
Those don't look like friendly humans.
They do not look like friendly humans at all. The fact that they're working with the kobolds and carrying torches very similar to those thrown atop buildings hints that they may
I
have...
did not see a
Did not get
handout.
Yeah, I might have just gotten it only.
Don't-
How about we
I
do
don't
show
No,
the
I didn't
players?
see anything
I didn't
different
get it.
what you're talking about.
Something should pop up. Nope.
No?
Nothing popped
Might
up.
have to
Yeah, nothing.
players and then do show handout.
How about now?
Oh,
There we
go.
go.
Yay! I'm a good DM. Now that we can see some sampling of the cultists, however, they are actually masked. You see a gathering of them in the crossroads. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. It would be rather a hectic scramble, you think, to get all of you to the north without alerting them to your presence. But you could try it. What are you guys doing?
We should single file. Follow the river.
Yeah.
I have a terrible idea. That's totally in character, by the way. I have a terrible idea. I could go a little south, hide behind one of these buildings, and distract them while everyone heads north.
I could do that without you having to go down anywhere.
Yeah,
Without anyone having to go down
couldn't
anywhere.
someone
Talking in
couldn't someone
illusion?
just do that illusion
Yep.
that they did before?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Just
do that.
Sound to draw them out and hopefully get them to follow me.
Can be a sound.
I think less is more. If we can get away without providing any extra sound or distraction and just go north with no lights, maybe?
It's probably better if we don't split up.
Yeah. If that's way too many for you to take on by yourself. So we should really stick together right now.
Oh, I know.
And-
On fighting. I just planned
Yeah,
running.
But well, I didn't think you were planning on fighting. But if you end up accidentally having to fight them, I think you should stay with us.
Guys, shh. Start moving.
All
And
right.
I will take care of it a distraction, and no one has to split up.
Yeah, do that.
So he's going to cast his minor illusion again.
Okay.
Down this way. Just make it sound like general voices. Almost like the opposite of last time, like people trying to run.
Okay. So here is what I need. That is an excellent plan.
Mhm.
So that will give everyone advantage on a stealth roll. If you would normally have disadvantage for some reason, you're
Yep.
back to normal. If you would have normal, you're now at advantage. Your DC is a 15, so I need a 15 or better on a stealth roll with advantage or not, as appropriate for yourself. Please go ahead and make me those stealth rolls. Those of you guiding the children will basically they're using your stealth.
Those
22.
poor
Wow,
children.
okay.
Good passes. 22. Oh boy.
Those poor kids.
Chloe!
This was not my
Us.
idea.
Joey.
I wanted to just go.
No.
These little
A lot of
kids, they
noise.
can't
How
be
do we do with
quiet.
advantage on the digital?
At this point, you should always roll, I think, both numbers. And you can choose whether to roll with advantage. Is that the button at the top of your guys' sheet? I forget where that is for you guys.
I'm looking for it.
I always have
I
mine
turned mine
turned
off
off.
because I couldn't figure out which was which.
If not, don't worry about it and just click twice, and we'll use the better of the two
You
rolls.
know what? I'll just click twice.
I'll do
Simplicity
that too.
works.
Yeah, I don't know where that is. I think
still
mine's
not
just been on all the time.
I turned mine off, so I don't know where I turned it off at. So
Well,
All right.
you're rolling
So,
twice, so.
you guys did start off well.
if you
First,
click it, it'll give you an option if you don't have it turned on, so you can just select to do the advantage on that one.
there you go. Talays, you're a freaking ninja. But
She stops existing.
Waverly, is quiet as a mouse for some reason. Valandra, doing very well. You're in your element. Dawn, creeping along. And maybe just a little bit too much mud had been disturbed. By the time Chloe starts moving along, you hear that as the mud sticks and she pulls that big boot foot out. Dusk following along, trying to stay out of the mud, still has that problem, but a little quieter. Like after a few more people, and then the children, and then the big old turtle starts plodding along.
All hails.
It's been noticed. Talays silently creeping along in the shadow of all this calamity. So, if you would please move yourselves up to about here, in the order that you would like
Up
to
to
move.
about where?
Up to about
Wait,
here.
Where?
Are you on the right layer too?
You'll know what you're talking about.
I am on the wrong layer. Thank you for pointing that out. I would have been there a
I
while.
do that all the times.
So right along this line here, as you guys started moving your way north, please arrange yourselves. And then click your token and click your initiative button, because stuff's about to happen.
Oh, I'm still bleeding.
I don't want to be doing
Where are Glumfellow and the kids going to be? Because I would be near them.
That is up to you guys, so you can arrange them as you would like them to be.
Gotcha.
So kind of place yourselves. You were discovered mid-effort, but you had arranged yourselves as you would want to be.
So everybody heard that horrible racket, right?
Oh, there was. They are alerted to that something's going on.
Okay, so I would also be alerted, and my stealth is fantastic. So I didn't move. I'm staying hidden behind the building,
Totally acceptable.
right about there.
And we're on this line, right? Like
You're
right next to
heading
the river.
in. Yeah, you're heading in that direction. You can stray to either side as much as you felt appropriate. Some of you may have noticed the mud and considered that a bad idea and stayed a little on the firmer ground. Some of you would be like, hey, if we go through the water, we won't leave tracks.
Yeah, but
Up
it's
to you.
noisy in the water.
Some people move well in water. Some people in your group really take to water well. Up to you guys. So let's see here. Did everybody make it onto the initiative list? Let's do a sort here.
No.
Nope. Oh, get yourselves on the initiative list when you get a chance. And we'll get you later.
I think the kids in Glumfellow would be just in front of me, I would guess.
There I am.
All right. And
Hang!
We did not move the kids.
I cannot move the kids or the torch.
oops, sorry. I did not give you guys control over the kids or the turtle. And to prevent you having to do that, we're just going to go ahead and scoot him along. And Lenine and Cuth as well. Trailing along behind. Edgar has lagged behind. Poor Edgar, forgotten. But he can fly. He's okay. Wow, you guys are quick today. Waverly. It's just too much noise. You know something's going on. The kobolds have swung their heads around in your direction. The humans holding their torches have started to lift them a little higher to try and get the light to cast. You know that the illumination from this torch atop the roof has you guys at least somewhat lit to them. What are you doing?
Let me. Okay, so what I'm gonna. Waverly's just gonna run over here and pull her short bow off her back and aim for this guy whose name I can't see. Right on the corner, the kobold.
Some of these names are not my best idea. That is Gakunk.
Gkonk?
Gakonk.
Okay, well, Gkonk is getting an arrow to the face.
Gakonk doesn't want your arrow, but he takes it and falls quickly, struck down. Perhaps in his prime, perhaps not. You'll never know. You didn't ask his age. Waverly, any additional movement or action from you?
No, that'll be it.
All right. Gakonk struck dead before he can do anything other than get curious as to who's making that horrible mayonnaise jar sound. Talays, what are you doing?
So the entire group is looking towards the big group, Waverly and Dusk and everybody.
Yes. So they have their attention focused at the big squishy sounds coming from this area, and have started to pick out, hey, there's people there. They don't look like our people. And then an arrow just struck down one of them.
I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna dash since they're, and I'm gonna try and be as stealthy about it as possible, but everyone's looking in another direction. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it like in stealth, but I'm going to make an attempt to just go behind them as far as I can go.
All right. Go ahead, and the dash will get you your double distance. You are a cat-ish kind of creature. So when you sacrifice your... Oh, sorry. What was I doing? I'm a horrible person. I just mixed up my people. Yes, you run in your half-elven-y Lightfoot style. And any additional action or movement? Or is that's it? That's the dash.
Yeah, I think the dash is going to be as far as I go. They can't see past the light, can they?
They cannot see past the light. Humans cannot see in the dark, to the best of your knowledge. And these mostly look human, but a half elf or an elf under there, you wouldn't know.
Did you
too
move?
much to ask. Did you move? Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, I was just seeing where I wanted to end up.
Fair enough. That brings up Dwight the Cultist. Dwight the Cultist rushes forward, drawing a scimitar, dashing. He draws up to Dusk, ready to challenge. Akane the Kobold, not wanting any more arrows, rushes forward as well, drawing a dagger. Marshall the Cultist. They form up the battle lines, but no blows exchanged yet, save that arrow and whatever Dawn might be doing right now.
Yeah, he is going to say some fancy arcane words, do some fancy finger positions, and fire at Dwight there. Boing. Still at advantage. 14. Hold on. Should I take advantage off? Or
That's a 14 roll. That would be your first one. 14 does strike. Please roll me damage.
8.
Yeah, Dwight staggers, reeling, but remains upright, but barely. And as a double check, you guys can see health bars, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Perfect. Dawn, any additional movement or other actions?
He is going to scoot back this way for the moment.
You got it. Gaknok remains quite dead. Pierce rushes forward to the assistance of his friends. Way over there. Starting to surround Waverly, bringing his torch with him. He can now see all of Joey, and he looks a little less confident about what's about to happen. Chloe, what have you got going on? Oh, does Chloe have mute on? Did we kill her?
No, I'm here. Sorry. Sorry, issues with dog. Dog was being loud for a second.
Oh, that's all right.
Going for Dwight. Sorry.
Dwight is met by a 12 and is destroyed by the additional 11.
Finally
Chloe,
hit something.
You have finally hit something, and you have done so with panache. Would you please describe your panache?
I'm still like, so as I'm running up there, I'm still shaking the mud off of my boots, and somehow that gives me extra momentum when I swing the warhammer over into his shoulder neck area and shock.
A well-known boot scraping technique. Any additional movement or actions from you?
No, that's it for now.
You got it. Valandra, it brings it back round to you. A kobold, Akani, has rushed up in front of you. Marshall joined him.
Okay.
What are you up to?
I will. Let's see. There were 3 of them. I was gonna try Word of Radiance. I don't know if 2 is quite worth that. So I will try and hit him with my mace.
All right. The kobold or the person?
The kobold.
Kobold is struck. Please roll me damage.
8.
The kobold is destroyed. You guys make short work of them when you do manage to land your attacks. Anything decorative that you are doing as you strike this kobold?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Now, I was going to say, Valandra, you haven't had your little journey out and about town. This may be the first time you've been bludgeoning creatures to death.
Probably, yeah.
Congratulations. Alongside you, however, Dusk has punched a number of things to death recently. Dusk, what are you doing now, though?
Well, punching's been working so far. I'm just going to trample over these guys' bodies. Boop, and punch this one up here. If I can hit my button properly. Boop. Is that hit?
All right, 18 definitely strikes. Please roll me that damage. Just enough. You see him stagger. Possibly, maybe he's going to stay up. Then, nope, it's too much. Knees buckle. He drops.
Well, good to see all this training's paying off.
It is doing well for you. Any additional movement or actions?
Probably move up here next to Waverly. And
all right.
That's it.
Joey.
Joey is sick and tired of having to deal with these people, and he's going to maul this guy at the top unsuccessfully.
No, you rushed around on the side. He was holding the torch. A little too much flame to the face. Couldn't focus. That's going to bring up Addie. Rushing forward. Can't fault these cultists for bravery. Though brains may not be their strong suit. Simpson following suit, howling maniacally as he waves his scimitar. But, Waverly, what you got?
All right. So Pierce, he's gonna get stabbed, or I'm gonna try.
Get stabbed. Don't know.
Well, he doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he wants.
It does. It seems.
Oh.
You are unwilling to strike Pierce. It would just be too redundant. Any additional or actions?
All right. Well, then let's try and I'm going to try and using Nimbly Dodge. I'm going to try and back away a little bit because I don't have very many hit points.
All right. Let's see if Pierce is true to name. No, he's got a scimitar, so he slashes. And even with disadvantage, does a 19 get you?
Oh my god, I'm down.
God.
I'm down.
All right.
I'm down.
An unconscious Waverly falls
Oh my god.
as he tries to escape from Pierce. Telays.
Okay, I'm gonna move closer.
Okay,
Like right there.
absolutely.
Be well within range of everybody here. at this
Yep.
point. Oh, more than. Well, I was gonna do Addie, but no, I can see that dickhead hit my buddy Waverly, so I'm gonna go after Pierce, and I'm going to do vicious mockery, and I'm going to say, I'd say pick on someone your own size, but even the mouse is bigger than you.
Ooh. A lot of short jokes. That seems to be the material. Please go ahead and roll it. He shakes it off, possibly because he's shaking the blood of Waverly off his scimitar. He meets it, he beats it, he takes no damage. That brings up Dwight the dead human. That brings up Akani, the dead kobold. Marshall, the dead human. Dawn, quite alive. What are you doing?
He is going to sneak around this way here, and he is going to continue Eldritch blasting at Addie.
Addie does not seem to have the capability of avoiding your Eldritch Blast. Please roll damage. That's not a lot.
Just like whaps him upside the side of the head, and he goes, well.
As compared to everything else that has just happened, Addie's like, that was it? That wasn't too bad.
Gently caresses the side of his face.
Eldritch caress. There we go.
That is a elegant way to stroke a mustache. But that brings up Pierce, having already felled his laurels. He strikes towards dusk with that same bloodied scimitar. No, I don't think so.
Nope.
Not enough. That brings us to Chloe. Now, I will remind everyone, Waverly is unconscious and will have to start doing those terrible, terrible death saves if someone does not assist. Chloe, don't let that encourage you.
Die in the first session.
But what you doing?
Seeing Waverly go down, I'll come over and try and avenge her and strike at Pierce with my warhammer.
Vengeance may be yours. Vengeance is quite yours, but what is that 2 on the side there?
Oh.
It's rolling advantage, I think, and that's just the...
No.
If it was two-handed.
Okay. So you're using one-handed?
Yes.
Okay. So you strike quite hard. He staggers, but does remain standing. Now, looking quite determined to take a chunk out of you folks. But Valandra, before he does, what are you doing?
Valandra will make a medicine check on Waverly to try and stabilize her.
Sure can. Please roll me a medicine check and do better than 10. That
26.
is a lot better than 10.
Nat 20. Okay.
Nicely done. Waverly, you are stabilized, no longer in danger of dying.
Oh, thank goodness.
I am going to actually say, with a nat 20 off the bat, we're even going to give you 1 hit point.
Yeah.
So return
Rejoice.
to consciousness. Nicely done. And that's going to bring us round to dusk.
She'll also...
sorry, Valange, yes.
Yeah, she'll also take a step forward so that hopefully Pierce can't get at Waverly again. If this will allow me to click...
Are you on your measurement tool like I was?
Yes, I was. There we go.
There we go. That will give it to dusk then.
Well, looks like Pierce is surrounded, so let's go and attack Simpson with another punch. Surprise!
But why the punch? 14,
Because it's
yes.
been working.
Not as excessive as some of your others, but it is damaging. Please roll that damage. 7 staggered but standing. He remains. Any additional action or movement?
Let's see. No matter where. Nah. I think
Yeah,
she's
if
gonna
you
stay where she is.
if you move anywhere, you take an attack.
Yeah,
So-
that's not a big move, but just in case you had something else. But
That's
Joey,
surrounded.
what you got, Joey?
I'm gonna drop my maul, and then I'm gonna draw one of those daggers, and then I'm gonna stab at Pierce. I'm gonna use the javelin for the attack roll,
Fair enough.
and then we'll roll the dice if it hits.
No. A 10, not enough to find flesh between the robes.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. That's going to bring up Addie. Addie, unscarred and unscathed, strikes at Dusk. 9, not going to do it. Simpson, looking at Dusk as well. Ooh. Dusk, I think a 20 might get you, but only
Yep.
2 slashing. How you doing?
Let's see. Oh, wow. Look at that. I am down to 1
on the
hit
health
point.
bar. But that's enough to keep you standing. Waverly, back from the near death, it seems,
I saw a
laying
light.
prone. And that light resolved itself to be Valandra's sparkly eyes. It's quite astounding.
It was amazing.
But you are prone. You will need to spend half your movement to stand back up. But once you do so, what are you doing?
Okay. Stand up. Immediately go after Pierce.
That's our Waverly.
There we go. What's defense? Oh no. Punch drunk you remain. Just can't get it together. Any
Okay.
additional movement or action that you'd like to do?
Probably. I don't want to risk an opportunity right now, so no.
Fair enough.
Just kind of swaying on her feet right now.
That brings it to Telays.
All right. Addie's a lady, right? Is that pretty obvious? Addie, a female.
Aww.
She's asking if that's a yes or a no.
Sorry. Yes, Addie does appear to be an obvious female.
Okay.
Perhaps not a short joke this time.
No, it's not going to be a short joke this time. So I'm going to target her to say, maybe if you eat a bunch of makeup, you'll be pretty on the inside.
Oh, dear.
But if she fails, but
just shrugs it off. Haters gonna hate. Telays, any movement from you?
nope, I'm staying right where I am. If they want me, they can come get me.
All right, Dawn. That brings around to you. Addie did shrug off that Eldritch Blast from before, and Mockery seems to have no effect. Perhaps this is a better class of cultist. What are you doing?
He is going to make a loud, resonating bell dong in his brain because he's damaged. And of course, because he's damaged, he might take less damage than if he wasn't.
Perhaps. Shaking it off. Addie cannot be rattled.
He is going to.
Which brings us round to Pierce, having seen the mouse jump back up again, attempts to put the mouse back down. Waverly, a scimitar attack. 15?
She's down.
Oh.
Stay down, smush.
Okay, so Waverly's a little bit of a glass cannon.
Waverly back on the ground.
Learn the dodge action.
Bringing us to Chloe. Chloe, you've seen Pierce strike down Waverly
Neck,
twice now.
head off.
Whoa. That is. Yeah.
Leave him alone.
Kill him once, shame on him.
And and I will come around this way.
All right. Valandra, you may have a bit of pierce on you at the moment. Waverly, fallen back and bleeding. What are you doing?
Let's try another medicine check.
Good enough to stabilize. Waverly now unconscious, but doesn't have that quick eye flutter open that you have accomplished before. Any additional movement or action?
I'll move up here.
Fair enough. Dusk, that brings it to you. Simpson and Addie standing strong.
Let's see if a lady can take down the other lady. Nope. Maybe.
11, no.
Darn it.
Glances off those robes. She is everywhere, it seems. Need to throw more female cultists at you guys. Any movement for you?
Don't want to move. Nope, not moving.
Fair enough. Joey, do you have the solution to the problem?
I have a solution to the problem, but it's really awkward for me because I never do it. So I'm going to draw another dagger into my other hand. And then I'm going to do my primary stab at Addie.
Okay.
Does a 12 do it?
12 will meet and beat the armor class. 8 points of piercing damage.
Yes, actually 8 points of piercing damage to Addie.
8 points of piercing damage to Addie will render her
Okay,
a bloody
and now
pile on the ground.
kind of awkwardly, like I'm gonna try to draw my other dagger with my other hand, but it's clumsy. Like I fumble the hilt a little bit, and then I try to stab at Simpson here. Okay.
You
with
thought
my
it was clumsy,
bonus
but you made
action.
it look good.
Yeah, and then I will do. It has no damage mod
Okay.
because I don't know how to do that well.
It
2?
is enough.
Dang, all right.
Simpson falls. You've defeated the group of cultists and kobolds at the crossroads. Well
Why are there
done.
cultists? I would say if I was awake.
Please roll 1d4, Waverly.
Okay.
Oh no.
Without, and that's actually a good one. Without magical assistance, you will remain unconscious for 1 hour. If you can be cured magically in some way, you'll regain consciousness immediately. However, with the threats of the cultists cleared from the crossroad, you are able to see an opportunity making a dash to the north, rushing across the field towards the citadel and entering the keep. Guards standing at either side hustle you through the gates. Inside, you can see the remaining citizens of the town and a small force of guards. As the dragon wheels overhead, many of them cower in fear. You even feel that impulse yourself to hide. They're not able to return fire or mount a defense, but the dragon doesn't seem to be attacking either. Congratulations, you have made your way through the kobolds and cultists to the keep. The children are safe, as are Cuff and Linan and Glumfellow, and we will pick up next week with some of the exchanges from there.
Ooh.
I can't believe none of us died there.
That was a lot of fighting.
You look at the hit points. There's one of us unconscious, one at 1, one at 2. Like
That was a
You
lot of
guys-
fighting, Casey.
Like-
I'm just like imagining Dusk walking along, just like fucking me. Ow!
And Don just rolls his eyes like, God,
You guys have
Yeah.
done quite well.
why am I related to you again?
Says
And
the
I'm gonna-
person cowering behind a building the whole time.
Hey,
Well,
these
I'm not
things do happen.
injured.
Yeah, Valandra's hurting a lot right now too, but she's not really showing it. So
So I will award you guys experience as soon as I get done doing math. So you will see that posted up to you guys throughout the week.
So like level
please-
2, 3, something like that.
Possibly, maybe 2. You guys did kill a bunch of stuff and solve a couple of problems. But there's also a lot of you, so that experience is going to be spread around a bit. On the upside, you did not have to call any favors in from Cuth, Linan, or Glumfellow, so you get to keep what you kill. Just like those necromongers. So you guys now are up at the keep. Any questions, concerns, or comments? I'll be kicking around for a bit, but for those of you who do need to head to bed, get your butts to bed. Feel free to fire away.
So, how big is this keep? How many rooms? How many stories?
So the keep itself is not made for people to stay in at a long time. It is just a very defensible 4-walled keep. There is a barracks along the northern wall. You can see right there. Probably 200 people could cram in here and take shelter for a week or 2, but it would be uncomfortable very fast. And we'll start talking about that on some of the things I'll be giving you guys throughout the week on your information. The mayor of the town is in the keep and greets you, and you will be talking to him, or at least receiving some information from him. And that is Governor Nighthill. Sorry, governor, not mayor. Tarball Nighthill. He has been governor for quite some time. He's about 60 years old, a human, and you are familiar with him at least by name from the time you spent in Greenest. More martially important is the Castilian of the keep, Escobert the Red, a shield dwarf who is in charge of the defense of the keep and the guards within. But at this point, every time that damn dragon comes near, everyone averts their eyes and cowers. And we'll find out why next week.